Hello, and welcome to the Be Smart About Art show. My name is Susan J. Mumford. I'm your host. I'm the founder of Be Smart About Art, and I am here today with our Sunday edition, which is how you kickstart your week with Be Smart About Art. And today I have two themes basically for you. So just to say, it is the 5th of April 2020. So theme number one is going to be empathetic. And theme number two, in terms of where we're focusing today, is rational. Now, you might think these are some weird, crazy, old school signs. Well, these are actually an example of how in this current day we make do with what we have kicking about. And that is exactly what is going on with my setup here at the Be Smart About Art studio. So we're going to old school there. Now, it is fun to be a bit silly as well. I just found this attached using some white tack to my iMac in the office. That is because my other half, Chris, has spent the day clearing out his office and study, found that and thought because I'm American, he would fly the American flag at my desk. So there you go. It's a new little tool. Perhaps it will become a prop for the return of the BSAA blog. We used to do a weekly blog series, and that's actually turning into a monthly blog series. It's taken some time to bring it back, but we are getting there. Now, for the Sunday edition, we do like to provide you some thought of how you might be kind of approaching the coming week. How much are you going to get done? How much are you not going to get done? What are you going to be up to? Well, what I have come to this week, and this really follows what I've been seeing happening on social media and just online and in articles, various places. It's really important that we're nice to ourselves, and it's also important that we're understanding of other people's situation. There was one fantastic thread I saw of a number of artists, and actually other people ended up jumping in there who are not creative kind of professionals. It kicked off by one artist saying, "Oh my gosh, is anybody else struggling to concentrate in the studio?" And you had so many other people saying, "It's okay. Right now, just own the way that you're feeling. It's absolutely fine. You don't need to be getting a lot of things done." And then the second thing is about really being understanding of different people's situations. So this brings me to a nice little post that I saw. This is a printout of it, obviously, on actually a friend in New York's Facebook page. Her name is Ashley Atkinson. She's an actor in New York City. I've known her actually since we both went to university or college in Arkansas, and she was quite right to post this. So I'm going to read this to you to help bring home where we are right now. And I don't know who wrote this. This is one of these kind of internet memes. "We are not all in the same storm. For some people, it's sprinkling. This is a break. It's a breather. It's a rest. It's a pause. A time to reconnect with families. Honestly, it's kind of peaceful. For some, it's a storm. It's a bit scary. It's disruptive. It's enough to make you stay up and watch the news and worry a bit. For some, it's a damn hurricane. It's tearing at the boards. It's pulling off roofs. It's washing them out to sea. It's dark and unknown. It's life-changing. It's not wrong to be enjoying a sprinkle or enduring a storm, but please don't negate the difference. Rest with your family, but don't minimize the hurricane engulfing your neighbor. Laugh at a meme, but get on your knees for your friends. Get in someone else's storm." And that actually gives me chills up and down. So the thing that's happened in the past week, which is the reason why I gave the date at the beginning of this, is certainly in my world. I'm based in the UK, I'm American. I have started to experience people around me who are losing loved ones, friends. So that spans from continental Europe over to the States. So it is definitely changing the situation. And so what I'm really encouraging you to do, regardless of your own situation, is to be understanding that somebody else's situation is different. You might be really challenged. you might be personally heavily impacted by this. There might be somebody else who is seeing it as a break, and then vice versa. So it's so essential. I guess this is talking about our kind of our mindsets, or how we view the world. It's to understand that not everybody else is in the exact same situation, and that seems obvious, but right now I really, really do think that it's important to remind ourselves of that, because there are some people who are really needing some help right now, and those people who are able, we can help. So I encourage people to do things like video calls. If you're a person who is able right now, it really makes a huge difference to people to be supportive, to be there in whatever way. And if you are needing help, ask for it. I've actually said that a couple of times now in the Be Smart About Art show. Now, I promised that there would be two kind of main things that would come out of today's session. So the first one is empathetic. So that is exactly what I was just talking about. It is empathizing with what other people might be experiencing. It's not to say you'll understand it entirely. It's not to say that you will have even been there. I mean, I lost my mother to this world not quite a year ago. It was mid-April of last year. I went through this big thing, and suddenly we're going to have a lot more of that coming up for people. This is life-changing stuff, folks, whether it's immediately in your family or not. So being empathetic of different people's situation, and that includes those people who are really joyous and happy and jumping up and down and saying that they're writing a book, and they're also, I don't know, turning the world into something incredible. Right. And then the second thing is rational, or rationality, I might say. So where this comes in is, I was thinking about this a lot ahead of today's show, is essentially approaching your week, because that's what I really want to think about now, is going into the week ahead. What are you doing to get ready for it? What's it going to mean for you? Last week we were talking about setting a couple of things you might be doing for the week, a couple of intentions. By the way, I did repot the gooseberry. It might have only happened today, but it happened. I promised that this same time last week, and I did get to some modules, so that was all good. So we do think about what we're going to do in the week, and that's important. The other thing as well is being rational, and the context for that is to be rational with yourself, to think rationally as much as you possibly can. If you've got to do some decision making in terms of your personal health, the decision of whether or not you're going to go out, what you're going to do to support other people, what exactly you're going to be tackling yourself this week. Well, using rational thinking is very important at these times. I would say added to which is not having necessarily an immediate knee-jerk reaction, that you go, right, let's assess the situation, take the information available, and do something that makes sense from an objective point of view. I suppose actually it's not being subjective, it's being objective as much as you possibly can be. And an example of that is when I took the decision myself to not go to New York for Armory Week. That was a tough decision. As you will probably understand, the Armory Week is something that I have attended every year for a number of years. It was actually the first big international fair that I had attended in my career, I believe. I think that's right. So it was a big thing when I decided not to go this year. I made the decision. Actually, it turns out late on February 26th, and as of February 27th, I was informing people that I was not going. Was I personally sad about it? Yes. Did I subjectively want to be there? Absolutely, of course I did. But in terms of rational thinking and the assessment that I had made at the time, I decided the best course of action was to not go. And so that's having that rational approach and then sticking with it as well. And it's easier said than done. So what I encourage you to do in the 7 days ahead, which might end up feeling like they're 3 weeks for that matter, they might feel like 21 days. That's the way things are seemingly going at the moment. You have kind of 3 days in one, and yet the weeks leap forward very, very quickly. So when you come to needing to make a decision, to go, right, does this make sense? Even talk with somebody else about it, and take it from there. That is going to really help you in doing the right things for you this week. And again, being nice to yourself. A big point of conversation that's been coming out is self-care. In fact, in last Thursday's show, the BSAA show with a guest speaker, Winston Peters was talking about self-care, and I mean, and that's incredibly key at this time. And so we're looking at ourselves, and in fact, there's an illusion. This little meme that I read out to you talks about how people also may not be sleeping so well when it mentions it might make you stay up. I know so many people who are lacking sleep at the moment. So in terms of also being understanding of other people, understanding if they are struggling a bit right now, insomnia is something that is huge when we're stressed out, when we're worried, and of course, you know, that's something that is very much so going to be the case. And when we do know people who are struggling, it might make you think, gosh, is it really okay that I'm feeling okay or that I'm being productive? Of course, again, I'm asking you to be rational and encouraging you to be rational, that it's okay as well. If you are like me, you're enjoying your garden some, maybe we're in springtime in the Northern Hemisphere, so maybe you, like me as well, you're going through some spring cleaning. I find myself this time of year not even meaning to rearrange a drawer or rearrange a cabinet, and it happens. That's happened, I think, 3 times this weekend. Sort of, I went in to get a spice or something. The whole thing got overhauled. I mean, it's great. And that's okay if that's what you're able to do and that's what you're enjoying doing as well. So everyone, when we're thinking about the week ahead, we're focusing on 2 key areas, okay? We're talking about being empathetic, and we are also talking about being rational. So take those 2 things with you in the days ahead, and I'll look forward to seeing you in upcoming editions of the Be Smart About Art show. So our Monday show takes place at 11 a.m. Eastern, that's 4 p.m. in the UK, and we are going to be talking about the art world this week. So I'll be giving you big highlights, 3 highlights of what's happening in the industry. And then Tuesdays is our Business of Art Day. That's really boosting the business of art. Wednesday is the day that Be Smart About Art members send in their questions, and I answer your questions for you, as many as I possibly can. So that's Be Smart About Art question time. And then Thursday is the guest speaker edition, and that is immediately followed by the member masterclass. That's a hashtag member masterclass that is available for members. So do check out our membership community. Your support is enormously appreciated at this point in time as well. And furthermore, you are going to benefit. So check out patreon.com/Be Smart About Art. We have an ever-growing international community there, and we are really delighted to see the way that is developing. We have actually pivoted again after moving over to Patreon at the end of November of last year. Now, in response to coronavirus, we have decided to bring everything into one stream, and so the whole concept of Be Smart About Art, and I encourage you to embrace this as well, is being simple and supportive. That's our theme. And as ever, we're here to help you thrive in an arguably increasingly changing art world. Thank you very much. I've been Susan J. Mumford. I look forward to seeing you at the Be Smart About Art show and potentially at Patreon in our members community. Ciao for now.